What's going on, guys? Danny here from Metal Couch, and this week Mastodon have been streaming their latest album, Once More Around the Sun, on iTunes, so I gave it a listen, and I'm here to give you my official review of the album. Now, I've reviewed two tracks before going into this album, High Road and Chimes at Midnight. Was very negative on High Road, positive on Chimes at Midnight. And Chimes at Midnight gave me kind of a little hope that this album would be halfway decent because, as I have expressed before on my channel, I am not a big fan of The Hunter. I didn't think that that was a very, very good album. But moving in, we're going to do this track by track. So we open up with Tread Lightly. Tread Lightly to me was pretty good. It was a nice way to open up the album. It made me go, okay, so maybe not every single song will sound like The Hunter. Let's see where this goes from here. Very solid track. It's nice to get off on the right foot. Sadly, that's taken away by the next two songs, The Motherlode and High Road. Now, I won't go into High Road as I've already reviewed it, but The Motherlode is... how should I put it? It's very poppy, mainstream sounding. It's garnered more towards a wide audience rather than someone like me who is a big fan of classic Mastodon. It's more for the general audience, I guess you could say. Then you get Once More Around the Sun, the title track, which I enjoy. There's some really cool production effects on this particular track. So what I'm already noticing when we get into this song is that, you know, the title track sounds really, really good. The past two tracks are poppy, mainstream, just bad. And this is something that you're going to hear throughout the entire album, is that you'll get these sudden streaks of like, okay, alright, that's pretty badass. And then on the other hand, you get, whoa, what the hell is going on over here? But moving on. Once More Around the Sun, title track, awesome. Great production effects here. You also have Chimes at Midnight, which I've already reviewed, not going to go back into. And then we have probably the third big problem that I've had with this album so far. Asleep in the Deep is a perfect example of this. This song is way entirely too long, and it's too monotonous. I wouldn't say drony. It's just, there's not much going on here, and it lasts for 6.5 minutes, so it just gets really, really boring. And then you move on to Feast Your Eyes, which, again, is a more mainstream sounding track. So we had Once More, Chimes at Midnight, two mainstream tracks, and then we get probably what I think is the equivalent to Creature Lives on this album in terms of how bad it is, how rage-inducing it is for me. Aunt Lisa. I don't know what's going on this track. I have no idea what is going on this track. It is so chaotic, it makes no sense, and it's just really bad and out of place. No idea what's going on there. Moving on. Ember City. Mainstream sounding track. Well, I don't really know where to go. It's got a catchy chorus. That chorus is fucking catchy. And then we get Halloween and Diamond in the Witch House. Halloween was a decent track. I enjoyed that one. I wouldn't exactly put it up there in terms of highlights, but you know, it was a kind of a refresher from the past couple of tracks, so that was really nice to have something like that to kind of buffer before we get into Diamond in the Witch House, which closes out the album, which I think clocks in at, yes, almost 8 minutes. And again, like Asleep in the Deep, it's way too long, and I believe this is the one that features Scott Kelly on the track, if I remember correctly. I don't really even know where to begin summing up this album. I don't want to say that it's as bad as The Hunter, but at the same time, it's a very, very painful listen for me. I've already accepted the fact that I'm probably never going to be able to get into another Mastodon album after this. This does have some this album does have some highlight tracks, but overall it's just not worth it. I know that there are people out there who criticize my reviews of the latest Mastodon stuff as saying, well, if you just want old Mastodon, well, go listen to old Mastodon. That's not necessarily what I'm saying. That stuff will always be there, but it's nice to be able to acknowledge the people who have enjoyed your material from way back when they were nobodies, back when they were just getting on the scene, before, I guess, they got bloated heads, and now they're like the next generation Metallica. It's nice to be able to have some throwbacks now and again, and I will have to say, Tread Lightly and the title track are some nice little throwbacks, but at the same time, it's becoming apparent how Mastodon wish to proceed in the future. They wish to capture that 13 to 16-year-old audience, and want to abandon us who are already in adulthood in favor of, well, Mommy gave me some money, I guess I'll go buy the new Mastodon album. If I had to give this album a grade, I would give it a 6 out of 10. That's being a little bit more positive than The Hunter. I do not recommend this album. I cannot see this album being on any album of the year lists, and I would advise people to probably stay away from this album, save for Tread Lightly, Once More Around the Sun, Chimes at Midnight, and maybe Halloween on a bad day. So 6 out of 10 for me. Danny here from Metal Couch, signing out.